Today we're learning about the artist named Georgia O'Keeffe. She's an American artist and she became very popular when she was doing her paintings of the Southwest. She did a lot of paintings with vivid colored flowers. You might have even done them in elementary school, painting real close-up flowers where you get the detail and all of the color within the flowers. What we're going to focus on for this lesson is paintings and drawings that she did of skulls, such as this one here. She found the beauty in the skulls because these skulls had been left over from animals, bones, heads, and bleached from the sun. So there are these perfectly white skulls that she found beauty in against the oranges and the reds of the desert in New Mexico. So the project that we're going to be doing looks a little bit like this. And what you're doing today is you're going to be focusing on the background. So this part here, which is going to be just a series of patterns and lines. And the color scheme that I want you to use is mostly a neutral color scheme, colors that you might find in nature, such as warm colors like reds, oranges, and yellows, browns, a little bit of green, any of those colors that you find in nature. So we're going to start with a blank piece of paper, and you're going to write your name and your period legibly, and then you need a ruler. There's rulers located in the drawer labeled rulers. Use them to draw 11 to 15 horizontal lines. You can also vary the spacing of the lines, so the lines don't need to be the same distance apart. In fact, it looks a little bit nicer if some of them are closer together, some of them are farther apart. So again, 11 to 15 lines. Draw them lightly too, as we will be going over them in colors like orange, yellow, and you don't want to be able to see those pencil lines. After you have those lines drawn, you're going to use some of these reference pages that I've printed out. These have examples of different patterns that you can use to draw outside, or you can just create your own patterns by repeating the same lines and shapes over and over. So again, I want you to do this lightly with pencil because we will be going over this with crayons and then eventually with Okay, so I finished most of these. I'm not going to do the other ones. You guys will finish each section, but for time's sake, I'm just going to do those. Mine are a little bit sloppy. You guys will have the whole class to finish these designs with your pencil, so take your time. Some can be really simple, like these diagonal lines or these squigglies, and some can be a little bit more complex that might take some time. So have a nice balance of simple and a little bit more intricate designs. Once you're finished with all of these designs, so you'll have all of these sections, you're going to use crayons. I have a class pack of crayons like this that will be on the supply table in the middle. So there's all those colors. So go ahead and take maybe a little tray of colors for you and your table partner. And again, we're working in the neutral color scheme, so I'm going to use some of these colors. And what you're going to do, you're just going to be outlining these horizontal lines and outlining the patterns. You're not coloring anything in. We're going to paint that, and it's going to be really quick. don't spend your time coloring them in. So if you've done wax resist before, you know that you have to press fairly hard with the crayons to make sure that it shows through when you put the paint on top of it. So that's where the resist comes in, because the wax will keep the paint from going in that area wherever you have the crayon lines. So you can't do it lazily. You have to press a little bit hard. Not so hard that you're breaking the crayons, but hard enough so that you're not going to have the paint just go right over top of the crayon. So again, like I said, you're going to outline these horizontal lines. Okay, so I am pretty much finished coloring all of these areas. I just have to go over some of the horizontal lines that are separating the areas. And again, I'm pressing hard or going over them twice so that we have that proper wax resist technique showing through once we paint it. So to reiterate, on day one, you're doing just the pencil lines with these papers for reference. And then if you finish, you can start the crayon. But take your time on those designs. Don't be sloppy. Some should be intricate, some should be simple. And on day two, you're going over all of the designs with crayons. So all of these sections on yours will be filled in and the horizontal lines. Don't color in the background because we will paint over that. Just like you saw in the example, this is all watercolor paint over those designs. So we're using neutral colors that are colors that come from nature. So think of browns, grays, blacks, reds, oranges, yellows, a little bit of green, a little bit of blue can be used, a little bit of violet, but stick mostly with those neutral colors. So hopefully these will be finished by Friday, and you guys will be able to paint them on Monday when I return back. Have fun, enjoy.